Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm telling about my arm injury that I had. And a couple of you might be wondering because in other videos I told you about my recent arm injury. And a lot of you were wondering. So I'm going to tell you what it is, how long it took, and how it really affected my baseball career. Alright, so let's jump right into it. So to start off, I'm going to tell you what it was. Now, it was quite hard to tell, mainly because I went to two doctors. One said it was a growth plate injury. The other said it was a muscle injury. Now, we don't really know for sure, but it did get better, okay? And it just took rest. Now, my physical therapy thought it was growth plate, so 2/1. I thought it was a growth plate injury, all right? So we're settling that. It was a growth plate injury, and I actually used, to fix this, I used J-bands, but the main reason it caused this was during winter, over my break, I threw a ton. I did some baseball camps. I did some wiffle ball games with my friends, and I was just throwing a ton, doing a ton with my arm, putting a ton of stress on it. And eventually it just died out, and my arm really started hurting whenever I honestly moved it. Whenever I even tried to hit or throw, right? And basically, I went to the doctors after this. After about a week of rest, I went to the doctors, and they said it was growth plate, right? And he said to rest for about a month, alright? And basically we did that. He said I could hit if it didn't hurt, alright? So we waited for about 2 weeks. I started hitting 2 weeks in, and it hurt, okay? It hurt the first time I swung the bat. So following to this, I stopped swinging, okay? For another week, I didn't swing, and then we tried again. And thankfully, it did, in fact, not hurt my arm. Now, this was a pretty big accomplishment for me at that time because my baseball season was just starting. Basically, right after this, we hit for the last time before I got back to my practices. Now, at this point, I was really confident in myself that I was going to be able to hit great and all of that kind of stuff. But the problem was it did hurt. So that's when we went to the doctors. Now, this doctor said it was muscle, okay? And this is where I got kind of confused. I was glad it wasn't a rotator cuff injury, but it was still confusing because we thought it was muscle or growth plate. So in this case, the doctor sent me to physical therapy. And the physical therapist thought it might have been, he thought it was growth plate, but he said the doctors were confused because it was in the same exact spot, almost. They were very close to each other, so he saw how they diagnosed it. But he thought it was definitely a growth plate injury. Now, like I said at the start of the video, he had me finish these by using some J-bands and strengthening my arm back up. Now, in the matter of about a week, I started to actually play again because it was 4 weeks, time's up. And it was really weird because it was off, on, off, on. I was bad, I was good, I was bad, I was good. Now, at this point, we tried swinging again, and we tried throwing, and I was perfectly fine. Now, we continued the physical therapy for a week or two, and we started doing it at home alone with the J-bands that he gave us. And at that point, it just went up, 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 up. Now, you could still say I'm technically recovering. I'm definitely not at the speed I was. Before this injury, I was throwing about 60 miles an hour, 62, in that range. And now I'm about like 58, 59, so I did lose 2 or 3 miles an hour, but that just will take time to work up using the J-bands to strengthen my arm. But so if your doctor said, oh, maybe it's going to take 3 months, don't worry, it's probably not going to take that long depending on what it is, severe, not. But if it's the same thing that I am, don't worry too much. It's not going to be way too bad. So, no worries. If you enjoyed what I told you about my arm injury and my personal experiences, please like and subscribe. And please hit the notification bell so you don't miss another one of my videos. And peace.